What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Neca Ultimate Edition's Alien, the Big Chap Alien. And so here we have the Ultimate Big Chap Xenomorph posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what Big Chap comes with. He does come with a face hugger, which looks really good, and it does have a bendy wire in the tail. We also do get a chest burster, which has a lot of nice little detail, and just like the face hugger, has a bendy wire in his little tail. We also do get the face hugger egg with a little base, and that is really well done. I do like that. Other than that, Big Chap doesn't come with anything else. I really don't know what more you'd want to include with a Xenomorph. I'm actually surprised he even came with accessories. So, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at Big Chap. And so here we have a closer look at the Big Chap Xenomorph, and it's a really nice figure, although I do have some issues with mine in terms of quality. Looking at his details, one thing I really wish is that they redid this dome. The dome is nice. I think the dome is my favorite thing about the Xenomorphs. I think the Xenomorphs need the dome. I know they took it away in Aliens, but then they added it back in all the subsequent movies, but I really do like the dome. Now, one thing I do have a problem with is that it's too dark right here along the face. The original Big Chap did have a translucent dome, and you could kind of see the skeleton or the skull behind it. Here you can kind of make out the nose, but you can't see the eyes. Now, I know that's how it was in the movie, but that's just because of how the dark lighting worked. They did overspray that just a little bit too much, because you can see it does transition beautifully. You can see the Xenomorph's skull right underneath there, but then it again goes into that darker plastic. It's still done really, really well, and you can see just all the little tendons and things in the face. Now, unfortunately for mine, it's not going to do it now that it's on camera, but the inner mouth is really loose, and once it comes out, it just flops around. It's supposed to lock into place at about that angle, but as you can see, mine is really, really loose, and that's probably one issue I have with this Big Chap, is that there's a lot of loose joints, some tight ones, but I'll get more into that in a little bit. Really like these little tubers that go all the way to its back. You can see that they don't really peg into anything, they're just kind of resting there. So do be careful when moving the head. You don't want to move it too far. You might rip these tubes right out of the back. Really love the detail Neca puts on the Xenomorph. It's really hard to think of another company that does this much effort into the Xenomorphs, and I really do like how it looks bio, or I keep forgetting the word, techno-bio, something like that, where it looks like a technology, but it's all biological, and I really love how shiny the carapace is on the Xenomorph. They did a really good job just putting gloss paint over it. And there are some browns here, although I do think the browns are a little bit too bright on some areas. Right here on the arms are nice and subtle, so I do like that. But when we get to the chest here, where we can see the ribs, it is kind of bright and it is noticeable. Something that's also noticeable is that they did an overspray on some areas of the Xenomorph, and I don't really like those oversprays because it does, even though it's supposed to have shading, it kind of just looks like they just sprayed certain high points and said, yeah, that's definitely how it should look. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we get to the legs, but again, the back has this really nice detail with these tubes coming out of its back. Its spine is nicely detailed. Having a look at the back, you can see what I mean about this overspray. Like, there's some areas on it that they just sprayed light brown or white paint. I don't know if it's light brown or white, but you can see right here on the legs it is kind of noticeable, and it'll be really noticeable when you see the knee and the plastic underneath the knee has this kind of overspray with the lighter plastic just to give it some highlight, but then when you bend the knee you kind of lose that effect because you have the lighter paint just cut off right there. And now, one issue I have with my Xenomorph is really, really loose knees. Let's see, is this knee No, this knee's not too bad, but this leg is kind of floppy, so getting Big Chap to stand is a little bit difficult. I don't know if this is something that's universal among all these Big Chap figures, but the right knee on mine is really, really loose. You can see it holds its spot when you bend it a little bit, but in neutral position, there's really nothing. It just wobbles. Good thing that Big Chap has bigger feet than most Xenomorphs, because that makes it really easy for Big Chap to stand and keep its balance. Even both joints on the knee are a little bit loose. You can see it doesn't take much. It just kind of flops there. Now, if I do find a second one, I'll definitely pick it up and see if the joints are any better on it. But as it stands, this was the only one I found, so I'm out of luck right there. Really, really like the tail. The tail is always one of my favorite things about the Xenomorph. It just looks like a bony protrusions going all the way down to this little tip. Now, they don't have the razor here just yet. I believe that was added, I want to say in Alien 3, but I could be mistaken. It could have been in Aliens. But I do like the original tail. I just kind of am more fond of that big blade at the end of the tail. So overall, I really do like the way Big Chap came out here. There's a lot of things to like about him. Although the detailing is really good, the quality control on him is a little bit weak, especially like on the head. You can see even the head on mine is loose, so a lot of loose joints on this figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Big Chap compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Big Chap posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman by Mattel. Here we do have Big Chap posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Big Chap posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we do have the Big Chap Xenomorph posed next to the Alien Genocide Big Chap and the original Predator. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Big Chap's articulation. Now, Big Chap does have a ball joint in the head, can look down really well, although again, on mine, it's really loose going down. But going up, it's not loose, so I don't know what the issue is right there. We do have a hinge in the jaw, which does work well, and then of course that inner mouth does pull out, and of course it locks on me here. I don't know why everything on this figure is loose. If yours also has that issue, let me know down in the comments. But we do have some head tilt, does turn left and right. Although don't turn it too far, because then these tubers might accidentally get pulled out, and you really don't want that to happen. But it's a nice little detail, so do use caution with that. Arms are on ball joints. They do go out to about that far. They do a full 360, although because of the way the carapace is designed, it does shoot off to the side, so do be aware of that. We don't have a bicep swivel anymore. They did update this mold, so all the rotation is done down here at the elbow. We do have rotation here at the forearm. We have a hinge right here at the wrist, and that also does rotate. And it's the same for both arms. We have a really nice ball joint here in the torso. I think they updated the way this ball joint moves, because none of my other Big Chap molds move like this. So they did update the mold slightly, especially because this one doesn't have bicep swivel. Legs do kick forward to about there. They do kick back all the way. And again, mine is really loose right here. We do have thigh swivel, which works really nicely. I do like that. We do have a single bend here at the knee, and that below the knee we also do have a second bend, so I do like that. And then we also can rotate at the knee, although I'm beginning to think maybe it's not supposed to rotate because this doesn't want to move, and maybe that's why this is so loose, because if I rotate it slightly it holds. So maybe that's not supposed to rotate. I don't know. If yours rotates easy, let me know. If it doesn't, again, let me know. Ball joint in the foot does have some slight rocker rotation. We do have a really nice toe hinge here on Big Chap. We do have rotation at the tail. I don't know why you want to rotate it. But then we also do have this really nice wireframe and soft plastic, so you can actually get the tail bending in any way you want. So that's a really nice little addition. So with that out of the way, guys, that's Big Chap's articulation. So what we're going to do now is get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Big Chap Alien pose for my final thoughts, and overall I really love the way this figure came out. Now, you might be wondering why I only picked up one Big Chap Alien, where previously I picked up multiple versions of an alien. Well, the simple story is that there was only one Big Chap in the movie. Big Chap was kind of the only Xenomorph that appeared, and they really didn't have a hive mentality till the second movie, so I only picked up one. Now, I am a little bit angry that mine has so many issues with quality control, especially with loose joints. I really think that that's an issue Neca really needs to work on. Maybe it's just my figure, I don't know. I haven't seen too many reviews, so I can't say that it's a universal issue or if it's just my bad luck with this particular figure. If yours has the same quality control issues, definitely let me know down in the comments, and maybe we can send something to Neca to get him to fix this mold, because it's a really nice mold. I love the way it looks. I think it's a little bit better than the original Big Chap mold, but it does have some issues that do need to be addressed. Other than that, I still think it's a wonderful figure. The glossy paint really does make it have a slimy appearance, and I think that's one thing every Xenomorph needs, is a slimy appearance. If you are looking for Big Chap, I have seen him only at Target right now. Target is the only place that I've seen Neca figures, although you can get him online. He will run you about $30, which is a little bit high. Neca is starting to raise the price on their Ultimate figures from $25 all the way to $30, and that's kind of bad, but you know, it comes with the territory. Things eventually go up in price, so you just gotta either roll with the punches or just stop playing the game entirely. I really do like this figure despite its quality control issues, and it's something that can be replaced, so it's not a big deal to me. If you really like this figure and you're a fan of the Alien franchise, you definitely need a Big Chap in your collection because it's the Xenomorph that started everything. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other Neca Ultimate Collection videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, don't forget to check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.